Oh boy, I could sit here all day, especially if I had a margarita in my hand. But no, I can't do that. Yeah, sometimes you try to do the right thing, and the right thing just screws you. I decided, since I had a little bit of time, I was going to do a little preventative maintenance here. This is the sprayer. This is the PTO drive. There's the shaft. Shaft comes off the tractor, hooks into here, goes into the drive, turns some belts to turn the pump. Well, I had a little bit of growling in a bearing right here. I said, yeah, I've got a little bit of time. Let me go ahead and replace the bearing before it goes bad. Well, this thing is giving me a heartache. You know, I think I would have been better off just let the bearing go bad in another 2 years, because just a little bit of growling, there was no movement in the bearing. I think I would have been okay for another 2 years, but no, here I am. What has happened? There's a snap ring in here that holds this bearing in. The snap ring somehow got something happened. I don't know if it was before I owned it, something happened, but I cannot get all of the snap ring out. I've got one little piece over here that just will not come out. It's kind of welded itself into place now. I've tried to put some heat on it to get it out of there. That's not working. I've also got a problem getting this pulley off of here. I've got the porta power. I've got a wedge in there. I've put some heat on it, but that's not working. So I've let it sit overnight. I've thought about it a little bit while laying in bed last night, and I'm going at it again, and I'm gonna get this sucker torn apart and get the bearings replaced. I am determined to do that. And hey, I can stay cool while I'm doing it, or I can be cool while I'm doing it. Yeah. All right, let's get it done. After further inspection, I see what happened here. So this PTO shaft slides onto this shaft, and what happened is this shaft, at some point, it wasn't when I pulled it off, but at some point it slid all the way back here, and as it turned around, it was hitting this snap ring, and that's kind of what wore it and got it hot and just kind of melted it into place, for lack of a better term, because I see where this shaft is worn on the end here, or this collar. So yeah, that's exactly what happened here. As I said, it wasn't that way when I pulled it off. It was sitting back here a ways. So yeah, lots of heat and lots of banging and a little bit of cussing for good measure. There's one piece off. All right, I think what I'll do now, I'll take the snap ring off on this side and shove everything out this way, and then deal with this side here. Voila. Well, hell, I got the camera pointing in the wrong direction. But there we go. We've got it off. So now I've got to clean up. Where that snap ring goes on this side. I've got to try to clean that up so I can get a new snap ring in there. Oh boy. While I am this far into the project, I'm gonna pull the pump apart. I've got a little bit of weeping here from the seal. So I'm gonna pull this pump apart, replace the seal in the bearing. We'll see how that goes. Okay, now I need to pull the impeller off of here, and the seal is behind there. Okay, new bearing and seal is in place, so ready to put this back together. Okay, I'm putting off that part. I think I have to go to my local hardware store and get a small grinding disc to go in there and grind that snap ring out of there. July 4th. Wonder if they're open today. All right, I've got the pump back together. It took me a little bit to get that old snap ring out of there, but I finally did it and got the new snap rings in there. So it is time for the moment of truth. Let's hook this baby up and see what happens. One thing I am a little concerned about is this particular pulley right here, because of the pressure I had to put on it on the backside to drive it off of there, and then the heat that I put on it. It's just a little bit out of whack right now, so it may end up hitting just a little bit on that bracket, but we'll see. Let's cross our fingers, hope for the best. Just as I suspected. It's knocking right down there. I guess I'm going to have to get a new one, because that is going to cause the bearings to go bad. Oh boy. Oh yeah, I almost forgot an update. Yeah. As you can see, my salon opened back up, so I was able to get a haircut yesterday evening. But yeah, the update here on the sprayer, after I got it put together, I had some issues with it yesterday. But what I did discover, I think I mentioned this particular pulley being a little bit out of whack. So I've ordered that, but While I was ordering that, as I was putting this all back together, I realized part of the issue is the PTO shaft itself. So this shaft is worn, actually. And so what is happening is this part is spinning around a little bit on this part. It's not spinning completely, but what it is doing, it is spinning enough that it is getting locked on here, where then this cannot slide as the tractor turns, goes up and down. This is supposed to slide back and forth on here. That is not happening as it's turning and locking in place. You know, it's not locked now. Then this is not able to go back and forth. So then what that does, it has shoved this, even though there's 2 set screws holding this on, it has shoved this back against the bearing in the snap ring. And that's what wore that snap ring out and gave me such a difficult time getting it out of there when I was replacing these bearings. And as you can see, when I put this yoke on the shaft, I had it up here even, it has shoved it back. What happened yesterday at one point is, I guess this got caught and it actually pulled this away, pulled my snap ring out. It did not break it. Actually, I didn't have the correct snap ring to replace it with originally. I've got new ones on order. Pulled the snap ring out and then pulled the bearing out as well. What that did when it pulled the bearing out is it pulled this pulley, because it's all connected to the shaft here, pulled this pulley in, caused the belt to go off track. This edge here, you can see it started rubbing up against there and burning. I smelt something burning and I thought the tractor was on fire, but no, I looked back and the smoke was coming from here because this was rubbing up against there. Yeah, I guess just over time, you can see it, or maybe this camera is not going to show it well enough. You can see the defined grooves here, but you get to this point and it's worn a little bit, both sides. And as I said, it is allowing this part to lock onto this part and not slide back and forth real easily. Part and not slide back and forth real easily.
Part and not slide back and forth.
Part and not slide back and forth real easily.
So I do have a complete PTO shaft assembly coming. Assembly coming. I've got the correct snap rings coming to go in here, and a pulley that is perfectly round, hopefully coming, so I can replace that. But I was able to get everything put back together. I was careful on my turns, turning the PTO off when I turn, because what happens when the tractor turns around, this shaft actually gets shorter. The distance between there and here is shorter, so this shaft needs to slide back. So as I was turning around, I was just turning the PTO off to take the pressure off of all of that. So I did get everything sprayed, just took my time doing it. So I'm not sure if the parts are coming, if they'll get here this afternoon or not. This is Friday. I called them Wednesday, about 4 o'clock on Wednesday. They did not have that pulley in stock. It was going to come from another location. So I may not get these parts until Monday afternoon. But I'm not completely down. I can still spray if need be. But yeah, that's what was going on there. Okay, back to what I was doing. Taking an inventory on my chemicals. I think I'm going to go up to the chemical dealer pick up some chemicals to have everything ready to spray these soybeans. I'll take some pallets back to them, some of the seed pallets. Probably go to the bank. Got some things to do at the hardware store. So it's a Friday, but it's still going to be a full day. All right. Now I think I can say, see ya. See ya.